What's going on, everybody? Trump big beautiful tax bill is on the ticket today. I'm Dr. Black Wealth, one of your co-hosts, and we got...
Hey guys, it's your girl Miss Fair Financial checking in. How you doing? What's going on?
Welcome to the #1 show covering all things you need to know about business, politics, and wealth.
That's right.
Today we're going to dive into the Fed rate decision, Musk stepping down from Doge, GM is investing in the U.S., and we're going to lean right into this big beautiful tax bill.
Yeah.
So... we got the big beautiful tax bill that's on the ticket. I'm actually gotta go.
It's got a great name, the BBB. That alliteration.
He's
a good marketer. Big beautiful bill.
Some of the biggest highlights is the corporate tax rate. So if you guys are familiar with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, right? A lot of this stuff is they're trying to keep some of this stuff to either extend it or make it permanent, and then they're adding some new things in there, right? So the corporate tax rate is going. Well, you can go ahead. I got it pulled up on here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So some of the key incentives, businesses, deductions for small business, right? Yeah. I just laid out the top 6.
Yeah.
One of them, of course, is Section 199A that increases the small business deduction to 23%. Yeah. Over 20% is making it permanent in the code, because most taxes are seasonal. They have a time, 3, 4, 5 years. Yeah. This is making the deduction permanent.
I feel like I'm giving that like an A. Like I all the business stuff, I'm not really
all the business stuff, absolutely, right? But how do you guys use it as a small, medium business owner, right?
That deduction is because it's as a small business owner, that's another deduction.
For sure.
Because you got your standard deduction, right? What most people obviously they get, and then that's another rate, right? So it's really, especially if you got an LLC, because you kind of offsetting some of that self-employment tax you paying.
For sure. Any flow-through entities as well is beneficial. Section 179, expense cap. The expensing cap, allowing small business to fully expense $2.5 million of equipment in the first year.
Yeah, so that's all your bonus depreciation. That's when you guys blew up with the G-Wagons and all that stuff. You're trying to extend all that and make it permanent.
For sure. Invest in your business. Necessary. And, okay.
Go get you a G-Wagon. I ain't tripping. Get the Rolls Royce.
All right. I don't know if it's necessary for your business. I don't know if it's necessary for your business. I don't know. But that is a key asterisk.
Is it your business need a Rolls Royce?
Does it?
That's a good question.
Sure.
Some businesses need planes.
They do. You do. Depending on your business, you 100%. Can absolutely.
100%.
I'm with you.
100%.
Okay.
Shaq just bought a plane.
Absolutely. Permanent and increased death exemption. Also, the gig. This is new. I didn't initially see this in the bill. The 1099 rule is being repealed for the gig economy. That $600 every person was getting a 1099. Mm-hmm. If you were Stripe, PayPal, that was really gagging the girls, if I want to say it. But that was like a total shit show. But now in the bill, they're repealing that.
I bet he is. It's too much.
So on my business hat,
it's a little way to hide money.
For sure. So on my business,
I'm giving y'all the code.
My business hat in doing the taxes, I'm like, that's great. But for the federal government, it's a way y'all are losing money. Yeah. You're losing money. People are not going to report.
But anyway, ain't going to be more business people. And he trying to change that death tax you talking about was that estate stuff he trying to change and increase too.
And then also the Reduced Paperwork Act is the 1099 miscellaneous threshold, meaning that we don't have to do it for every little thing. They're at $2,000 that you have to do a 1099, which I like. Yeah. So those are the top 6. If you have anything else, I am giving it an A.
My goodness. Hit the bell.
Listen, business owners
hit the bell.
Never need advocacy. They don't need advocacy.
This is a new.
I have no problem with any of this in here.
Yeah, listen, if you're a business owner, you definitely should be capitalizing on this. They're still going back and forth on the approval. Actually, I got to be in Washington next week. We're trying to keep the Republicans to pass this thing on. But I think it's going to pass because of the way that they got the votes in there mostly. But some people don't like it, though.
The Senate don't like it.
Yeah, some people don't like it.
And if they don't pass, it has to go back to reconciliation for the House to change it. So I don't think it's going to pass. I think that...
But the stuff that's affecting that is like the Social Security stuff
sure.
he's doing.
And then some of them feel like it's not enough cuts.
Yeah.
Some of them send us to go, it's not enough. It needs to be deep across the board. So it's a lot of different senators who have issues. Of course, it increases the debt by trillions of dollars. Yeah. So they have an issue with it for sure, right? 100%. So understandable because the tax cuts, meaning that there's less income coming in for the country to use, right? 100%. And so I get it. But as a business owner, if this does pass, what do you do, right? It looks like you investing in your business. You have to be strategic about that to say, okay, I now get a 23%. Okay, now I have bonus depreciation. Do I need more computers? Do I need, do I want to upgrade my beauty salon with things that I could deduct 100% now?
Hire more people.
So you need to be strategic about these tax cuts. Please don't go out there and just buy a G-Wagon that does not increase your bottom line to me. Now, if you are in the luxury rental car space, that may be a great opportunity for you. But I would use this to generate and make more revenue for your business to scale and grow your business. So I'm giving it an A. I think it's a good thing.
100%. I give it an A. And we'll definitely keep y'all abreast of like what's happening because that's our world, right? Business taxes. We're gonna keep on. All right, moving on. Listen, GM, the motor company, is investing $4 billion into the U.S. plants to offset the tariffs. So this is right now GM, most of their stuff that they build out is built in Mexico. And because of the tariff scenarios with Trump and the countries, GM is like, hey, we're committing $4 billion to build U.S. plants that's going to get our production for our, cars and stuff built in the U.S.
More from what I was reading, is $4 billion over the next 2 years in the plants in Michigan, Kansas, and Tennessee, and it will expand the vehicle production, right? Sure. So most of the car things are assembled here, right? You don't really make anything here, and so they're extending that process a little bit more to make it to try to appease the Trump administration. But I think in 2 years, if it's midterms and this stuff becomes unfavorable, I think they'll go right back overseas. I think companies who are smart do what they do to appease the administration politically. Same thing they did with DEI.
I think it's a show.
Absolutely. Same thing people did with DEI.
It's definitely hard to. It's not a fast reaction to just pick up and move some stuff.
No, it's very difficult to do that.
Especially when you've been over there for years.
We make nothing here. It's not easy. Like, oh yeah, tomorrow, first we have to think about training, skill set, the logistics of it. So I think that it is just right now to appease the administration, to see politically what it looks like in 2 years, which is the midterms, to go, all right, are we really investing $4 billion here? We're going to see. If most of Republicans are done in 2 years with midterms, I think you'll see GM repealing this and rolling back a little bit of this investment.
I got you. I mean, I love the idea, though. I'm definitely giving it an A because I do, I believe in companies being built in America, having businesses, having jobs, putting America in that first territory category. I do also like to play well with others, like the relationships and stuff like that. I still think that America is kind of leading in all areas, if you will. But we'll see. I mean, I give it an A, but I definitely think
in AI innovation, we definitely not leading.
But I think we'll capitalize on it.
American-made cars are definitely not leading in manufacturing
what you mean?
And innovation.
Ford is like the number one car.
Sir.
Everybody built tough. Ain't nobody not getting a Ford.
If they getting one, it's no.
What you mean? No. Ford got a deep-rooted following. That's American made. Mustang, that's like the America's car.
Sure.
And the truck.
Sure. You're talking about innovation. Worldwide, no one is asking for a Ford.
Well, that's probably true. I mean, but
okay, so for Ford, I mean, I'm giving them a B-. I think they're playing the political game. I think investing to show.
That was a good take. I didn't think about that.
I think it's a good way to get Trump and the administration off their back. They're like, great, we'll invest in $4 million, $4 billion with a B, sorry. So I'm giving it a B-. Well done to a certain extent. Well done.
Yeah. Listen, if you're a business owner, LLC, S Corp, partnership, or a C Corp, and you need to file your taxes, come to Eagle Financial Group where we can file your taxes. We specialize in business taxes to make sure we file and give you all the tax strategy savings that you need to put money back into your business. Click the link below, set an appointment, book a call, and our team will reach out to you. Cool. So the next thing, my man Musk stepped down from Doge, and him and Trump got a little feud going on, a little social media situation happening.
Did he step down?
You know,
or was he forced out? Okay,
yeah,
so let's think of the chain.
Lay all the facts out.
The chain of command. Okay, so the bromance started. We know Elon donated more money than God himself to the campaign to get him elected, as well as most of the Republican ticket. And now he's reversing that. As you see, he is primarying all of the Republicans, saying, if you do not vote for this bill, if you vote for the bill, I'm going to primary you.
Oh, I think I seen that on Twitter.
And he's going to double the amount in his components. Doubt it. Rich white people play a different game. Anyway, so Trump, he came in as the face of Doge, looking for fraud, waste, and abuse. I think he underperformed. I don't think Trump was happy with the amount of cuts that he said he was going to find. It's rolled back like 3 or 4 times. It's underwhelming to what he thought he was going to cut for him. I think also.
But the program itself is still going. I just seen the Supreme Court gave him access to Social Security numbers and all. It was just recently.
They did for immigration. I don't like it. I think it's horrible. But anyway, I think Trump expected a certain thing from Elon. Elon expected a certain thing from Trump. And I think, for what I was saying earlier, I think the con man conned another con man. I think they just met their match. I think they're two narcissistic men who are petty, and to go online and fight and bicker, it shows exactly who these men are. I don't think how much money you have, you cannot buy class. I find it disgusting. Even though quietly when I pull up on my phone, I am kikiing, I am laughing at it all the same. But such is life. I think I'm not shocked at all.
From a professionalism standpoint, I'm definitely give it a C. I don't think that I don't like the way the business is rolling out for the entertainment purposes. I think that's too much. Personally, I know that Tesla stock was falling. And the board members over there do not be playing about that stock and that company, because some of them, regardless of what we see Elon was doing with Doge, they felt he was spending too much time over there, which was bringing business down for what he actually have a zone of genius in.
And it wasn't popular, right? The people who buy Tesla was the opposite demographic on who supported the White House. Tesla was heavy pushed and promoted by the Biden administration with the energy efficient credits. It's a very liberal leaning. So for you to then almost like turn your back on your constituents, because Republicans were anti electric cars, you almost turn your back on your people in a sense. So I think it was the people, were like, what are you doing?
I didn't even think about that.
Absolutely
That's a good point.
Not. He was also mad about the
driving
credits.
through Decatur and there's a lot of people with Teslas in their driveway, and I know they liberals.
Absolutely.
White liberals over there.
Because most liberals are thinking about the planet. It's eco-friendly.
I didn't even think about that.
Biden pushed the energy credits, and so in the bill, they repealed them. Yeah. They took out the credits. So he was upset about that. So I think
that board is like, listen, get him over there.
Yeah.
Get over here to this money. He got people who really believe in his business ingenuity. Caitlin is one of them that's like, listen, his stock is going to shoot up well over $2,500 a share, really. So I think that's where that's kind of out of the behind the scenes of what's really going on outside of what they publicly.
And I think he wore out his welcome. He wasn't he was a person that really wanted to probably tear and rip a lot of the government apart because he is, in a sense, an anarchist. That techno bro situation, he really didn't want to kind of abide by the rules, right? Yeah. I mean, he was hiring very young people. I mean, and it is confirmed that the man is addicted to drugs, and they was like, you're showing up. Like, it was a whole situation. It wasn't good. I mean, Trump's chief of staff was the one pushing him out. Like, he's not a good look. He's unprofessional. We got to get him out of here. And I think that was, they did a whole, I was watching 60 Minutes, did a whole spotlight on her, that she is the thing really trying to keep this administration being professional, saying like, he's not it. Like, you got to remove him. He's a loose cannon, pretty much. So
he ain't like that.
I'm giving it an A.
Oh, here we go with the A's. Anyway,
I like a little white cat fight. Go ahead. Go
you know what I'm saying? Oh my God.
Go for it.
It's completely out of pocket.
Is it?
Next up, we got Trump press release. So the Fed chair, they didn't do another cut rate, or they didn't cut rates again. But Trump invited Powell up to the White House, so they had a little powwow up in there. But the Fed is like, listen, we're looking at the market. It has a lot of uncertainties. We don't really know. And you guys got to keep in mind, too, I explain this a lot. I just was at the Fed. I explain this a lot. The tariffs really haven't taken into effect or an account of people not really hit with the tariffs as of yet, right? Liberation Day was one thing. They're kind of going back and forth with some of the countries, but it has created an uncertainty out there because of him saying we're hitting these countries with these tariffs. Everybody's panicking as far as what will prices do, how would this do, and the stock market is emotionally reacting to how people feel about these tariffs. So because of that, the Fed is like, based on the data we see, right, and the uncertainty of the people, we don't want to drop rates because we don't know what that means for the future. We have absolutely no idea what's going to happen come D-Day,
because every day you change your mind. You can't even be firm on that.
So that's really where that's going. So where Trump is like, you need to drop rates. Obviously, Europe has dropped rates recently. I think in April or May. So he's like, we can follow suit, but they're like, no, listen, there's a lot of there's reaction time to all this stuff playing out
for sure.
So I spend a lot of time over there. I'm really kind of giving that an A. I think those boys and girls are really economists, are efficient at what they're doing as far as studying the data.
He's not
and
an
reaction.
economist.
No, I'm talking about Powell.
I know, but when I think of Trump, he's not an economist. He is a charlatan, and so he wants the rate. He wants the Fed to lower the rate.
We need to get.
He wants the rate to be lower, so it looks good for him to say that he did something for the economy. The economists are like, no, every day it's up and down. Business thrive on stability. If I'm a business owner and I'm trying to budget my 2 years, I don't know what I'm buying because every day for 30 days is this, 60 days is that. That's what the market is doing. Mm-hmm. Businesses don't respond in 30 and 60 days. That's a small business. But big business projects years out.
For sure. This also, from a business perspective, is a good way to test how well your business is, right? So I was listening to Fawn Weaver. You guys know she's the billionaire company behind Uncle Nearest. And she was like, listen, when Trump came into office, so there's certain parts of of course, you guys know that they make their whiskey and all that stuff in America. That's what makes it whiskey. But the bottling and the stuff that the get the product out there, some of that stuff comes from overseas.
For sure.
She's like, listen, we bought up 2 years worth of stuff before all this tariff, so they're stocked up ready.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of testing out your business to see, but there is a lot of uncertainties because some businesses are thinking longevity, but the America's built on a small business owner. And
it also has to deal with liquidity. If I don't have enough money to buy out,
for sure.
I mean, that's the reason why that's crazy. I just think leave it alone. You created this chaos for no reason. for no reason. And I say I'm giving it an A. I think he needs to stick to his guns. Don't be intimidated. Don't be bullied. That's why it's a separate. It's why it's a separate outside of the United States government. And I give it an A+.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in alignment. So there you have it, guys. Man, we talked about the Fed rate. We talked about Musk jumping down. We talked about GM investing in Trump beautiful tax bill that's on the horizon. Y'all stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you need some business advice or want to talk to us about your business for tips on how to grow it, scale it, whatever that looks like, email us at info@mindingyourbiz.com and we will read it live on the episode. Until then, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.